Why are college football holding calls so inconsistent? Have you ever watched a college football game and wondered why holding calls seem to vary so much? It can be confusing, especially when the same type of play gets called differently from one game to another. Let's break down the reasons behind this inconsistency in holding calls. First, holding is defined as illegally restricting or grabbing an opponent to gain an advantage. This typically happens with offensive linemen or blockers trying to prevent defenders from reaching the ball carrier or quarterback. The goal of this rule is to keep the game fair by penalizing players who impede opponents unfairly. One reason for inconsistency is the subjective nature of the rule itself. What one official sees as holding, another might not. The act of holding can be very subtle and occurs quickly during the game. For example, a slight grab or arm extension might be legal if it does not significantly restrict movement. Officials must make these judgments in real time, which can lead to different calls based on their angle and positioning on the field. Moreover, the rules surrounding holding penalties differ based on the situation. Offensive holding usually results in a 10-yard loss from the previous spot, while defensive holding carries a 5-yard penalty and often gives the offense an automatic first down. This difference can create confusion for fans and even for officials, as the impact of the call varies depending on the context. Timing and game situations also play a role in how holding is enforced. For example, if blatant holding occurs late in the game to manipulate the clock, officials may escalate the penalty to unsportsmanlike conduct, which carries harsher consequences. This adds another layer of complexity to the consistency of calls. The fast-paced nature of college football makes it even more challenging for officials to catch every infraction. Holding often happens in the trenches, where visibility is limited. Officials must rely on their positioning and judgment to detect fouls, which can lead to missed calls. Additionally, rule changes and updates can affect how holding is called from season to season. Officials must adapt their interpretations based on these changes, which can lead to variations in how strictly holding is penalized over time. In practical terms, coaches and players need to prepare for this variability. They should focus on clean blocking techniques and discipline to avoid penalties. While officials receive training to improve consistency, the subjective nature of holding calls means some level of inconsistency will always be present in the game. So, the next time you see a holding call, remember that it's a complex issue influenced by many factors, including the official's judgment, the specific rules in play, and the fast-paced action of college football.